I need one of the chanting books. Okay, can you get one for you? Yeah. I think you got the older one, so I think you will manage. Let's begin with the chanting. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato Samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Dutiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Tatiyampi saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Pānāti pātā vēramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Adinādāna vēramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Kāmesu micchācārā vēramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Musāvādā vēramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Suramēraya majjapamā daṭṭhānā vēramani Sikkhapadang samadhiyami. Itipiso bhagavā arahaṃ sammā sambuddho vijjācarana sampanno sugato lokavidu anuttaro purisa dhammasārathi. Sattha deva manussānaṃ buddho bhagavāti. Swakkhāto bhagavatā dhammo sanditthiko akāliko ehi passiko opanayiko paccattaṃ veditabbo viññuhīti. Supatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho. Ujupatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho. Ñāyapatipanno bhagavato sāvaka saṅgho. Samici patipanno bhagavato savaka sangho yadidang chattari purisa yugani attha purisa puggala esa bhagavato savaka sangho Ahuneyo pahuneyo dakhineyo anjali anuttarang punyakhetang lokassati sadhu sadhu sadhu. Please prepare yourself for some 20 to 30 minutes of meditation. This is the Thanksgiving week, so we will have an attitude of gratitude, which they say is the best attitude during this meditation. Being grateful to the living qualities of the Buddha, or being grateful to the sacredness that you connect with, that has the nature of awakening, nature to awaken you. You begin this meditation with some profound connection with your inner well-being. So you breathe in and breathe out, staying in this present awareness. You feel your inhaling, you feel your exhaling. These movements are in the center of your attention. Things will begin to slow down, and you are aware of these subtleties and changes that may occur. Today is also a day that we have a wind advisory in this region, and it's supposed to end by 9 p.m., which is roughly about an hour and a half from now. In your mind also, there are certain gusty winds that take your attention away and energy away from your focus. These energies are connected with greed, hatred, or delusion. You stay strong, not being affected by any of those three winds. Simply follow these steps to stay stilled and focused. As you inhale and exhale, observe your body. Before we come to perfect stillness, it's important to pay attention to these parts of your body. Paying attention is something we teach to kids. Begin with your face. Come into sense of lightness, the back of your head, the top of your head, your forehead, your neck, shoulders, your arms, your palms, the fingers of your hand, are they settled and well relaxed? That's key to stay stilled. As you breathe in and breathe out, notice your feelings around your chest, your abdomen. Let them heal and relax. They include your internal organs such as kidneys, liver, heart. You are giving a moment free from anxiety for these important, vital parts of your body. Simply breathe in, breathe out, being grateful to the presence of these body parts, mutually cooperating with them for a healthy and sustainable living in the future. You are taking a moment to relax, not putting too much weight on these parts of your body. Continue further down. Your back, waist area, pelvic area, muscles not tightened but relaxed, nothing to bother about. You can adjust, be comfortable again and again, so that you are in peace. Take a deep breath in and release. This relief goes further down through your thighs, knees, shin bones, ankles, soles of your feet and the toes. Are they all relaxed? Perfect. Your goal is to remain calm, making a peaceful environment for your being here and now. Filling your lungs with fresh air again. Invite back the element of mindfulness. To remain fully present for this one activity that is happening right now. The in-breath and the out-breath. A natural process. let them slow down. Each of you present the Buddha with your gift of practice today, which the Buddha said is the highest gift we can give to him. All material gifts exceed the gift of practice, excels all these material gifts that you can give. So seriously you are dedicating this time to the Buddha for your own well-being and for the well-being of others. Find a spot where you naturally feel your in-breath and out-breath and stay present there. Focused. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So please join me to read the Buddha's words on loving kindness. This is what should be done by one who is skilled in goodness and who knows the path of peace. Let them be able and upright, straightforward and gentle in speech, humble and not conceited, contented and easily satisfied, unburdened with duties and frugal in their ways, peaceful and calm and wise and skillful, not proud or demanding in nature. Let them not do the slightest thing that the wise would later reprove, wishing in gladness and in safety. May all beings be at ease. Whatever living beings there may be, whether they are weak or strong, omitting none, the great or the mighty, medium, short or small, the seen and the unseen, those living near and far away, those born and to be born, may all beings be at ease. Let none deceive another or despise any being in any state. Let none through anger or ill will wish harm upon another. Even as a mother protects with her life her child, her only child, so with a boundless heart should one cherish all living beings, radiating kindness over the entire world, spreading upwards to the skies and downwards to the depths, outwards and unbounded, freed from hatred and ill will, whether standing or walking, seated or lying down, freed from drowsiness. One should sustain this recollection. This is said to be the sublime abiding. By not holding to fixed views, the pure-hearted one, having clarity of vision, being freed from all sense desires, is not born again into this world. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. I think you needed light to read. So, I was in Las Vegas for about 3 days. And like I said, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, so that's what they say. But some people might be wondering what I was doing. I had to give a speech in a funeral and to talk to kids in different places. So it's lovely to meet Sri Lankans there and others. So we also, 4 of us monks, visited the west side of the Grand Canyon. So that's how I spent my time there. Then last night, midnight, took the flight back to Detroit. So we came through turbulence in most part of the trip. So people could not sleep, obviously, because of gusty winds and unstable flight. We made it through, but we knew that there was this wind advisory to Detroit and this area. So in teaching kids, I focused on different things. So people might be wondering, like, what we teach to kids. When we visit some families, we know that kids do need some wisdom from the Buddha. We emphasize on certain things, comparing what we say with the Western culture, because here they say follow your heart, right? That message can go wrong when the kids learn it, right? They may want to play games all the time, stay with electronic devices all the time. Their intelligence get hijacked by these electronic devices, or their intelligence get hijacked by their emotions. Some kids follow getting angry as a way to get their desires fulfilled. Sometimes they go against their parents, they go beyond. They don't know how much that hurt their parents. So we as monks have that responsibility to educate the kids. Then we say that the Buddha's message is to train your heart, to discipline your heart. So when they see the difference, it's very important that they get that message in the early ages in their life. Because when you have trained your heart, when you have disciplined your heart, you have some basic foundation to understand what is right and what is wrong, which is basically how the Buddha taught. If it is good for you, do it. If it is good for others, do it. If it is bad for you and bad for others, don't do it. For that you need some little training and little wisdom. Sometimes we don't pause to process things, we just go on doing things. Then kids become stubborn. What happens is, like, sometimes when visitors come to their homes, they ignore the visitors because they find something interesting in YouTube or in these electronic devices. But in the message of the Buddha says, treat your visitors like, God visiting you. So you have that responsibility on your shoulders, right? You really pay attention to them. So I began with teaching 3 things. Sometimes kids don't have it. Paying attention, sunati is the Pali word, and thinking, chintati is the Pali word. Thinking is important. And asking questions, pucchati. So you ask questions accordingly. If you don't think through, you don't ask good questions. So these things we teach wherever we go, and parents love it because those are the things they want us to say. But then there is also a clash between the type of Buddhism that parents practice and the type of Buddhism that kids want. These kids growing up here in the US, especially in schools, they don't teach religion that strongly. They pray if it is a Christian school, and they do teach a little bit of, like, they have a subject called world religion. So they visit our place sometimes, so we teach. It can be Islamic kids or Christian kids, Jewish ones. When they visit, they have the opportunity to ask questions, but that's a little time, that little exposure to other faith traditions. But between parents and kids, they begin to question at some point, like, why you do this, why you do that, can it be this way? So the way parents grew up in cultural Buddhist countries is very, very different from the way these kids grow up here in this country. Sometimes kids learn to show respect to their parents in the temple. That's something we teach. For example, something very small like, how do we address your parents? We never call them by name. That is very, very disrespectful. We don't say Sam, or we just have to respectfully call your parents. Amma or Tata, that's very, very respectful. You are my mom, and you acknowledge that with gratitude. You are my dad. So there is this nature of showing respect, which is important. And even by standing, even if you are sitting in a chair, you stand up when parents are around. You don't make yourself comfortable in the chair, and that is disrespectful. Just like you are not sitting in a chair when monks are around. You immediately stand up and show respect. So see the cultural differences. But here, you are a principal in a school, right? So sometimes teaching kids to show respect to teachers must be difficult, right? They don't pay attention to the classroom teacher. The teacher tries to, do the job of the teacher, but the kids are not giving attention. But when teachers go to a classroom in Sri Lanka, all the kids have to stand up and say, "May you live long," before they learn. So it's still happening. So they have to stop doing whatever they are doing and then give full attention to that teacher. Even then it is difficult to hold the attention. It depends on the teacher. But these little things go a long way that builds a generation of kids like that, and it goes to their kids and it goes to their kids. So these are things we try to highlight when we teach, whether it's in Las Vegas, Michigan, or Toronto, wherever we go. We try to show these differences, the difficulties the Sri Lankan kids face in terms of economy and educational resources, and how fortunate kids here are in this country with resources and opportunities. So we try to highlight these things, because kids, Sri Lankan parents actually, they migrate to countries like this because they think of their children, and children sometimes don't see the value of that sacrifice. So it hurts their parents. They feel isolated, abandoned. Now they don't have a life in Sri Lanka, and the life they imagined here is almost like not a life that they wanted, especially when the kids don't become serious. Anyway, I'm giving you these thoughts as to how we take our responsibility as monks to understand these and try to help these parents. So from city to city it's different. Like here we find different kind of people living here, different professions, and there we find completely different professions settled in those areas. So I see these differences when we travel. Anyway, I said this is a Thanksgiving time, so you must be giving thanks to different people in life, to family members, to teachers, to workplaces, but try to have a vegetarian Thanksgiving if you can. It will be lovely. So you are contributing to saving of animals. You don't need to have a turkey in your table. You can just make something look like a turkey. You can make a huge milk rice and make a turkey out of it. Still you get the same image, so why not? Anyway, let's focus on this now. Pujita Mahatma and I have been talking about it because we were take about few minutes to focus on this. We did the sutra discussion on this on Mondays, and we haven't come to this part. The question is, so now what we have here is 7 chetasikas, mental factors, 7 mental factors, which have to arise with every chitta. So they are called, every chitta means every mind. So they are called universals, sabba chitta sadharan. But why are they called universals? Why there is this 7 here? Like, why are they unique? Do you get my question? Like, why is it just 7, and why do they have to arise in every mind state? So with gratitude to profound wisdom of the Buddha, look at the list here. Contact, feeling, sanya, like perception. I would translate it as perception, but they have it translated as remembrance. Chetana is the 4th one, which is volition. Ekaggata, concentration or one-pointedness. Then you have jivitendriya, life faculty, and manasikara, attention. So if you ask a question like, can a thought arise without any of these? It is impossible. Why is it impossible? Right? That's what we need to understand. It's a why question. It's not a what question. What is contact?
The coming together of object, sense organ, and substances.
Good. So contact is looking at this. For example, now you have your eyes, that is your sense organ, and you have an object, the external object that you see, and you become conscious on it. So there immediately there is contact. You are conscious on it. So for a thought to arise, it's an important ingredient to have, contact. You get it that way? You might want to move to this place.
So I was actually thinking all the 6 senses, including mind,
Yeah.
can any thought can be a thought is something that generates in your mind.
Mm-hmm.
So to have some kind of mental process, there should be a thought. So that's a contact with another thought in your mind. So
Yes.
So it also includes the other.
Yes, you establish a contact in the thought as well, right? This is why million things happen in our mind, but the one I was showing is just this external thing and how I react, how our eye takes it. It's not the eye, actually, it's the mind knowing, labeling this. Anything else? Okay, let's move forward. What's the feeling associated with seeing this? What kind of feelings can you have? There can be 3 kinds, major ones: pleasant, painful, and neither pleasant, or say neutral. Yeah. So, was this pleasant? No. Unpleasant? So this was neutral. That's a different contact, right? That's a different contact associated with that. You see, you can go from here to there. That's what happened. And there it is pleasant. But here, just seeing this, it was just neutral. So many neutral things happen, right?
It depends on how you use it. So if you use it to that, it will be pleasant. It will be unpleasant.
Right. Right. Yeah. If you see something else, not this, that's also something to harm somebody. That can be unpleasant. But something is always present, like at least something neutral as a feeling is present with every experience, every thought, every sensory impact. So now you see why it is common, why contact and feeling are common. And sanya is the perception. You perceive this as something colored, black, red. Do you see any other colors here? If you see closely, you can definitely see dark red or things like that, like shiny stuff. But you perceive it. So perceiving something as an object, something that has a shape. So that is why perception is common, universal. Any question on that? Pujita Mahatma? No. So then, volition, chetana. Chetana is a Pali word, volition. Why is it common and why is it present? What kind of chetana, what kind of thought can we have looking at this?
Want something else.
Once again?
Wanting something else. That's boring, it's neutral.
Right. So you see this and you're like, oh, ignore it. I need something else. That can be a thought. Because it can, it's a repellent thought. Like I remove this, I need something else. Or you can have a thought like, oh, it is interesting. Oh, I want to have this. Or this belongs to somebody else. Oh, it's nice we have it for our meditation because we can do that. So, the question is, can we have no chetana?
No.
Because in our ordinary experience, we always have that present. As long as chitta, your mind, is active. Except in Nibbana, in cessation, there you don't have that active of mind. You are free of all these. Except you have the life faculty, you continue your life, you haven't abandoned it. All the rest really just don't matter. You can say you have attention, you can say you have one-pointedness, but they were there before you went to cessation. Anyway, I'm taking the conversation in a different direction, but let's focus on why these are present. So, from thought, we go to number 5, which is ekaggata. Ekagrata is the Sanskrit word. So, ekaggata means you really focus on this. So, instead of leaving that, you focus on it. Now you perceive it and you focus. So these things manifest immediately, instantly. For all that to happen, you have to have a life faculty present. And then now you focused on it, your attention is, so number 5 and 7 are very, very similar. So take one-pointedness as now you are, from everything else, you set your focus on this, and you sustain your manasikara. Manasikara is attention, so your mind begin to process based on that object. Anything else that happen, whether it's wholesome or unwholesome, and whether to harm somebody or so, the activity, that process happens secondary. Even in those activities, these 7 are always present. Yeah. Does that answer your question? Yeah, Glenn?
Is it appropriate to describe ekagata
Yeah.
as a state of superior unification?
Yeah.
Ekagata.
Yeah, superior unification, superior. I think you get agga as superior. Unification alone explains ekagata, like one pointedness, yeah. Doesn't have to be superior, because agga actually refers to not agra. The yes, in the first jhana you have ekagata. There is also one point, like vitaka, vichara, piti, sukha, ekagata. There, that ekagata is different from this ekagata. Yes. There you talk about stillness, sustained stillness, like collectedness. Here, one-pointedness, I don't think it has to be superior, because agga also refers to the edge. So, point, that point. So let's take it in that sense. So Glenn can do a little bit more research on this. I know you have done a lot of research on these words. So I have not seen any translator translate. Have you seen anyone translating it as superior unification? Or is it just you trying?
Various monks describe it that way, but I've never heard an explanation
Why?
of why.
Mm-hmm.
And I could only think that maybe taking the word apart did something else.
Yeah, so I think I see aggata as pointedness. So eka as 1 point, 1. So, but then different monks argue that one pointedness can give you a headache, because you are pointing, you're just trying to visualize something. But if you are mindful about how much pressure you put, I think you can have some control over it, some balance. But anyway, the point with discussing anything in Abhidhamma is for you to sit and observe these later times, not in this discussion. It doesn't happen right away. Take the 7 into your head and work on them in meditation. So then you gain some insight over these. Insight is vipassana. Yeah.
So number 6,
Jivitindriya. Yeah.
Is it the lifespan of the thought?
No. It is you being alive. Without you being alive, a thought will not manifest. The thought has a lifespan, also because you are alive. So life faculty refers to a sentient being.
So there should be a living being
Yeah.
to have a thought.
Yes.
Does that mean?
Yes. These objects don't have thoughts, because they are not living beings. Right, Glenn? So, yeah. Thoughtless means you are dead. So, for heavenly beings, they are also living. So, for them to have a thought, these things should be present. These 7 will be common. So, it's always 7 plus. That's what we discussed earlier. Anyway, any more questions? We can continue the discussion and have tea out there later. But for now, maybe we can end the session. So let's give thanks to all these people. Sharing merits page, please. May suffering ones be suffering free, and the fear-struck fearless be. May the grieving shed all grief, and may all beings find relief. May all beings share this merit that we have thus acquired for the acquisition of all kinds of happiness. May beings inhabiting space and earth, Devas and Nagas of mighty power, share this merit of ours. May they long protect the Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So happy Thanksgiving. Thank you for coming.